G'day everyone. Proud to say Barkarati is brought to you by Radix Nutrition, makers of the most technically comprehensive nutrition products that have ever existed. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, particularly this week, but I also have to share the microphone with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
BP.
Once again, apologies in order. Hey, accidentally missed last weekend. The reason was fair and square. As a lot of international listeners and listeners in general probably don't know, that Bicey and I follow a very Australian game called Australian Rules Football, and his team played my team and absolutely buried us last week. And I just couldn't.
World records.
Couldn't face
tumbled.
it. I couldn't face it. So it was a disastrous effort on my behalf. But on another point, I've worked out what we should be focusing on, and that is we can try and get gold, a Barkarati gold medal, and that is in breakdancing.
Oh, we're going to come back to the end. We'll talk about that in a sec. Let's get Bicey in, and then I'm just going
to... All good, because I reckon we'd be good at this shit.
Yeah.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice?
Yeah, we're spaced all over. By the way, BP, good effort in the footy last week. No, I'm really spewing you weren't there because I had I had it ready to go.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
You can have a go now.
Where am I? New Zealand, the land of the long white cloud. Just popped over for a couple of weeks before the big Euro trip in Tails. And pretty nice. Now, if I was to ask you this question, this is a bit random. Our recording this morning, just delayed now, gave me time to go out for a typical Kiwi breakfast.
Oh.
What do you think? I'll give you $1 if you can guess it.
Let me say avocado on bananas.
Yeah, no, mate. Seriously.
Not Vegemite on toast, is it? No.
Well, it's not the pie, which the Kiwis claim, the best pies in the world, nor
it'd be a lamb chop on and eggs. I think Bicey just froze on us. That's all right. We'll keep going over the top of him, but he can come back to his story. But he's frozen. I do. BP, you raised the breakdancer.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're back, Bice. You're back. We lost you there, bud.
Missed the punchline.
Yeah, we completely missed the punchline.
He's the only one laughing. Go on, have another crack at it.
All right. Mince on toast.
Oh, yeah. Love it. With an egg. Yep.
With an egg.
Yep.
Have you ever had such a thing?
It's my favourite thing.
Gives you a bit of lead in your pencil. I'll tell you what.
Bit of leftover bolognese.
All the Kiwis out there listening, this one you have absolutely nailed.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. It's 100%.
Well done, Kiwi land. Well done.
It's fantastic. All right. So, BP, you raised the breakdancing. We'll come back to that. I want to do that at the end of the show.
I think we should. It's a separate discussion.
There's a whole lot of conversation.
Oh, don't worry. Hot time with Bice.
Yeah, it's on.
Got plenty of breakdancing.
But I do want to raise because our guest is an Olympian that's going to be joining us, a former Olympian. I do want to raise the things, what events you've really enjoyed. And I've discovered sports climbing. You know,
speed climbing.
Yeah, not the speed climbing, but even the lead stuff as well, with all the climbing stuff they're doing.
Oh, it's cool, isn't it?
It's so cool. It's like vertical twister. The moves and things that they're doing. Like, it's just so good to watch. I love it.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. I've been enjoying that.
Yep, me too. And we'll come up through stuff throughout because I'll be interested to see if my guest has got it, or our guest has got anything he's been jumping on. But he's so busy, this bloke. He's a great guy. We've had him on the show in the past, episode 79, I think it would have been, a long time ago. And since that time, he's got married, he's had a kid, he's been doing...
That's how long we've been going.
Dragon Worlds, he's been doing the M32s, J70s, he's been doing 6 metre worlds, he's done a bit of stuff on the TPs, skipper the Mirapuri Foundation boat, And what else? One SailGP. That's right. Season 4, one of the team members of the Spanish team, but a very proud Portuguese man. Welcome to the show, Bernardo Freitas. How are you, mate?
Hi guys, thanks for having me again. I'm
it's
I'm
good.
doing great.
It's good to be a two-timer.
Yeah. Why
Well,
not?
as Jordan said, Bernardo, you're the busiest man in sailing at the moment. And given our geographical presence, Canada for BP, Australia, Jordan, myself, New Zealand, you, Portugal, the only time we could get you late at night on the couch with your wife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you keep saying that I'm the busiest sailor in the world, someone is not going to be happy.
Second busiest.
Well,
we're still looking for the busiest.
No, but the point is, this is, I think, from Bernardo's point of view, he is the busiest sailor in the world, and now he's got some home time with his beautiful wife, and we've taken that time away from him just to talk to us. So it's a big deal, mate. We have to say congratulations on the SailGP win. How was the mood? That was amazing. That's just amazing. How are you feeling?
I mean, as you said, it's just crazy how the team improved throughout the year. No, we finished last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first event with the team, the last one of the last season.
Yep.
So I kind of got into the team and we start the season from scratch. And when I got in, I couldn't believe we would have a chance to fight for the win in the end, to be honest. But it was such a nice year. Everyone putting so much effort in between events, and we have access to all the data from all the other teams, so you can really get yourself in all the good stuff that the other boats are doing and see where are your mistakes. And I mean, the team is, as you know, based with top talented sailers from Spain. Just Diego and Flo just won the Olympics in the 49er. Cartagena has a bronze
What a year
medal.
for them! What a year for them too, eh?
Insane! Like the guys win SailGP in the Olympics within a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yep. We've already given those two World Sailor of the Year. We've already made that decision. We can't. We said last week if anybody else wins it, that's a crime, because that's just an amazing year. There's no doubt they're winning it.
100%. They have to win it.
The other thing you're pointing out some really smart stuff here, mate. But it became noticeable, obviously heavily involved with watching SailGP, and it became really noticeable. We stopped talking about the Spanish team as hopeful to really doing some smart stuff. As you said, very talented sailors on that boat, including yourself. And we just started to see you guys execute some really clever stuff, the way you were sailing the boat. And it's, we just started mentioning on Baccarati, we're going, look, this Spanish team are doing, I'm really impressed. We said it multiple times throughout the season. It started getting better and better. The obvious thing though, Bud, is the correlation of timing where you went, the team went from last to first is exactly when you joined the team. Do you want to take all responsibility for the win?
No, not at all. Not at all. I wish it was that, but I think it's a team thing. The team went through a lot the last year and a half, changing drivers, changing flight controller, changing a bit of the team forward, and when I joined, Diego had jumped in the helm for like 2 events only. Joel was flying the boat for 1 event, and the guy jumps in I think in Auckland, and then the next event is New Zealand. The time frame is super reduced, so there's no time to practice. So I think it was just a matter of timing. Everyone was kind of green in their positions, and the team went through a change, embraced it, and then worked hard from there. And I was lucky enough to join them at that moment, and I believe obviously I helped in certain ways to improve here and there, but I think it's all a team effort, that everyone, we always, we never slow down. We were having meetings and meetings between events, just between us, pro bono, no one is getting paid to have that time, and it's just the dedication and that off in the end, I think.
It's
Well,
an interesting point.
That's led me into the next question.
Yeah,
I had one before this, but speaking of pro bono, no longer. Has Uncle Russell sent you his money yet?
Not yet, mate. Not yet.
Check's in the mail. The check's in the mail, Bernardo. Check's in the mail.
But just going back to the data piece.
Yeah.
Were there clear differences that you could see or the team could see in areas to improve, and what were they?
Definitely. Every event is kind of special in its way, because the wind is super variable. We sail super close to the cities. The water temperature has a big relation. So every day we have like a data report that we can see who are the boats that have been doing the best VMG maneuvers, ride height average, board drop time. I mean, it's thousands of different data points. So then you can see yourself in the graph in every event, and you can okay, the Kiwis were outstanding today. Their ride height was on average 10 mil, whatever, 15 mil, 150 mil above everyone else. They have more weather heel or leeward heel in this maneuver, and then we all have a feeling on board. Like we come ashore and say, those jibes felt like we were cheating and flying the boat a little bit too much when we pressed board down. What are the Kiwis doing? They did the best jibes. Look at them. Look at the videos, look at the data. Go out the next day. We have 1 hour of warm up. Okay, guys, today it's to focus on this in the training, and then see if we can get a little bit better at this. And slowly chipping away in these little things.
Better you definitely got. You won the whole year. So it's a massive thing to go from where you did to where you ended up this year. You said you went out and you were trying these different maneuvers or different sort of, key points of maneuvers. I mean, there's a lot of maneuvering. I mean, is it just an average thing you worked out your own style as well? Did you start putting your own things together?
A little bit maybe in the end, because I kind of made a big effort in the end to, especially in the last event, but then it's about points and stuff, but to forget about technique at one stage and just focus on actual race the boat and go around the course, and don't because we are all different sailors. It's a team of 6-7 sailors and everybody has their different way of approaching. Some are still in the Olympic campaigns, and has an Olympic sailor, you are super focused in detail and all the little things, and then you do a bit of owner sailing, professional sailing out there, and you need to kind of give away a few things because it's out of your control. So I think the team having that kind of different sailors in different areas in different boats kind of helped to really focus on the right areas at the right time. And we were lucky that halfway through the season, not halfway actually, from LA on, Simone Salva, he's a very young, talented sailor. He's working with Luna Rossa as a coach. And I mean, he's outstanding in his job regarding data, and we come out of the water with a bit of a feeling. I had a feeling that part of the day, those maneuvers, the boat was flying like this. So okay, let me check. He goes into the computer, takes it out in 10 seconds, and that helps a lot. From the feeling to the actual reality in data, and you see how far your feelings are from what's happening.
Do you think that sort of gap got closer as the season went on? Because it seemed you become more and more consistent, especially in the light. I thought in the lighter conditions, under 15 knots, you guys were super consistent.
I think so, because obviously the flight controller was new, so the lighter it gets, we use LABs and the big foils, the wing and everything. It helps a little bit. It makes any mistakes you can actually catch, and the boat nosedive and stuff like that. And when the breeze goes on, we go to smaller foils, and there are a lot less forgiveness on them. So I think we improved a lot in light air, as you said, and then as the season went on, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the Spanish are doing great because it has been a super light season." And then the first event with breeze, bang, we are there again, and
No,
slowly
that's
changing. So I think right now, obviously, we won, and we all think we are miles ahead, miles behind the top teams. Inside our team was like, fuck, these guys are a mile away. But the truth is that you get to that final race and you have the same chance
an
as them.
opportunity. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, boss. You go first.
Yeah. So we're pretty big on the banter in bar karate. We love a bit of chit chat. What's it like in between the sheds or in between the tents, the talk between the different teams? Obviously, you know a lot of the different guys and girls in other teams. Do you have your own little debriefs within your friendship groups a bit? Or are you just chucking shit over the fence and like giving them some serious banter?
There's a bit of banter, not too much, to be honest, because the days are super long, and we have absolutely no time to kind of connect with anyone. I know all the sailors from all different circuits, and I get to SailGP and I don't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see them at
But-
Copa del Rey instead.
Exactly. But the thing is,
Copa del Rey's become a relaxing week for you.
a very warm, relaxing week. But Phil Robertson loves the banter, and he's outstanding in that thing. And their relationship with Spain is something went on in the past, and it's always people love to commentate on that.
Love it. I love it. With the whole structure with SailGP, there was a few things that happened towards the end of the season. Obviously, we'll talk on a few of them, but which would have created pressure. But I'm interested in that last race. We saw France do that late tack, snap their rudder, and basically, it was either you guys or France going into that final. When you realised that you were going to be in the final, do you reckon you guys got excited, or you just got more determined, because you thought, no one's going to be thinking about you, everyone's going to focus on the Aussies and the Kiwis? Did you think you had a sort of little special, you're going to be the boat that was let alone a little bit?
A little bit. I think, first of all, as soon as we got ourselves into the final, I think our boat calmed down
Right.
300%.
Right.
I think it was obvious from the outside that we were struggling with our starts, and there was a lot of nerves inside the boat in the comms and stuff. And I remember saying, guys, just everybody breathe in and breathe out. Let's tackle this like any other race and put ourselves in the final first. And as soon as that happened, I felt like when someone puts
The
a hand
weight
on
of the
your
world off
shoulder,
your shoulders.
okay, it's done. Breathe. And now the finals are here, and they're here for us to win them. If you are in the finals, we go for it.
Yeah,
And as
watching
you
the
said-
race.
Yeah.
I was going to say, sorry, Bernardo, watching the race as the start was unfolding, you could see, though, that Australia and New Zealand were watching each other, and you guys sort of separated away and you just did your own thing, and it was a cool thing.
Yeah, a bit of the plan was a bit what happened in Bermuda when we won.
Mhm.
What we said was okay, we're gonna get inside the box a little earlier, step up on a high lane, and if we see them engaging and we have a lot of time to burn, we dive down and we do a slingshot to lure. Or if we see them engaging and the line is open and the fast point is a little higher in the line, we just go for it. And it was exactly what happened. We started 0.4 of a second at pretty much full speed. So it's just the best start of the whole weekend.
Sounds like a line out of Days of Thunder. You could write movies here, Bernardo.
That race.
The start,
after
the start by
start,
Bernardo.
No, those starts on that event were pretty bad. We were struggling a lot.
Oh, in the
And
actual
then-
weekend, yeah. Well, I was watching the weekend, and I mean, France had nothing to lose, and they were going for it. And in essence, what happened to them, which we're gonna, I'm sure, talk about, would have been heartbreaking for them. But definitely, they were putting the pressure on.
For sure, for sure.
When you won, actually, no, I'll ask that question later on. One of the things leading into that event was some stuff Russell said about the future, and he sort of pointed out France and Spain as, you don't have ownership, one of the teams is dropping out because two teams are coming in, there's only one boat available, blah, blah, blah. How did that affect you guys?
To be honest, like the guy from comms and in our team, they sent a text like, guys, just don't answer to anything about that thing. Let's forget about it and do your job.
Yep.
And to be honest, we were like, it's what we are doing here this week is not going to affect the future, or the future is not going to affect what we are doing here this week.
Yep.
Correct.
Maybe
That's the way to look at it. Yep.
Meaning the event maybe has a bit of an impact, but first we need to win and then we see the outcome, So let's just focus on this. We are here. Maybe next year we are not here. So at least let's
Enjoy
give it all and not worry about like all the noise at the moment.
Yeah. The obvious thing then is, you win $2 million US. What happens? Have you got in your contract? Is there an agreement on how that's all going to be split up, or does SailGP get a bit of that money back? I'm just intrigued because you don't know, or you're just waiting for a check to turn up.
I mean, it's been split the same way we split the prize monies throughout the season.
Yeah, cool.
So I think there is like a protocol from Russell, the way he sees it should be split.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's for the team ownership to decide what to do and how to do it with the sailors.
Yep.
And we came up with a formula that everybody gets a piece, even short team, management team, the photographers, everyone involved throughout the year gets a piece. Obviously, the sailors are getting a bigger part of it, but everyone gets a bit of it. And I think, not sure, but I know that a few other teams split it in different ways.
Okay.
So
everyone in your team is going to be happy.
now I think the prize money comes to the team.
Yep.
And then needs to split it. But
so the good thing about it is that you get it. You're happy. All your efforts rewarded. And you and Mathilde can plan to do to whatever you want to do with it, or you can be told what you're allowed to do with it. I don't know how the relationship works, but you can.
I think he's. Hey, just be quiet. I think he's sitting there with her, and I don't think she knows. I don't think
we're
she
about
knows
to
he
find
won the
out.
prize money.
Did you
told her he won the two? Hello, there's a little finger.
So what BP's saying, Bernardo, is you came home and told Matilda that you didn't win. It's all been falsely reported in the media, and there's no money coming. Is that right?
It's fake news.
I told her, until the money is in my account, we can't spend anything. Right. So just
that's it.
Oh no, I would have spent it already. Don't worry about that. Hey, Bernardo. Traditionally, the Portuguese are always the good guys, right? But there has been conflict in the past between Spain and Portugal.
I wanted to touch on this.
Are you like a recognised Spaniard now? And can you tell that to all your Portuguese mates?
I am actually 25% of myself is Spanish.
Oh, there you go. You've nailed it.
Every time I hold a flag, I hold it with pride because my grandmother was.
Muy bien.
Maybe only 3 fingers, not the whole 10, but enough.
Exactly. So a part
it's a
of me,
very interesting. It's a very interesting point, Bernardo, because you know, I mean, I've lived in Spain for many, many years, and I actually knew Florian when he was, well, he would have been 12. I think he was sailing Optimist. So I was doing some stuff with Magic Marine, um, and there is a rivalry between Portugal and Spain. I mean, that you know, we've got it between New Zealand and Australia, and Canada and the States. It's a fun one. Do you have a bit of a joke?
to be honest, inside the team and stuff, not really. But
Yeah.
they all say I'm Spanish already. So
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Well, and what a weekend to be Spanish, just quietly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
SailGP,
yeah.
tennis. What else? There was a third, wasn't there?
The Euro
that
Cup
was
Oh, yeah, of course.
golf,
The Euro.
and
yeah.
the golf.
a guy, and then like gymnastics and stuff. The same,
Oh, wow.
the same day.
Yeah.
Pretty.
I would have
Huge
boosted up to at least 40% that weekend.
Yeah, I'm intrigued though. Like I was thinking about that for you guys. Like it's a massive win, like massive event winning SailGP, and then you win it on a weekend that Spain won everything else. Like it was like everything came up for Spain, and so the media coverage you could have got you probably got less coverage than you deserved. You know, because everything was happening. But from a worldwide scale, the way the rest of the world reported it, you know, it was like the Spanish won this, the Spanish won that, you know, like everyone was talking about everything sort of thing. So, you know, but I'm just intrigued in Spain, it probably would have been all about the football.
Yeah, I think they were like waiting for SailGP to open up all the big news and television and stuff, and it's pretty hard to beat Alcaraz and tennis and
Yeah, with the football.
Yeah.
But my wife is Spanish,
in the end, they
Bernardo.
were pretty happy with it.
Yep.
My wife is Spanish, and she's not really into sport that much, but she knew about all the three big events, and so she was pretty excited that day.
Yeah, they made a big effort for it to come
So
out.
excited, in fact, BP got dressed in his Spanish flagged mankini to prance around the
Absolutely.
house.
Yep.
So what's the plans now, mate? I mean, we'll come on to some of the other stuff you've been doing, but what was the discussion at the end of the I mean, obviously with Diego the boys going off for the Olympics, they had to switch quickly onto that. But did you take time to talk about next season at all? Has that conversation happened?
I mean, it happened a bit first because the calendar came quite late, like the latest version of the calendar, and when we won, Russell actually said live like the Spanish will be at the start line of next season.
Beautiful.
So
Good.
for us, it's obviously good to hear it, but there's a lot going on in the background, and I think the CEO is trying to put up a group of investors to buy the team and to do something quite big with it. So it's all we need to wait a little, and I think now after Diego and Flo winning the Olympics, it's actually another really big boost for it that can help. So
Definitely.
I think we need to wait and see what's the outcome of it, because I believe something good and special is happening.
Yeah. Well, good. Let's hope so, mate. Because honestly,
You couldn't really script it, could you?
well, I just loved how you guys sailed. Like, I really enjoyed watching the Spanish boat sail. Like, there was some good stuff coming. The way you guys were sailing, there was some brilliance on coming off the boat. And I know that everyone was talking about how good. Everyone talks about how good Tom is or how good Pete is, but I was just sitting there going, that Spanish boat is world class. There's zero difference between them and the top boats. They look so you guys look so impressive, and so it'd be a real shame to not have you there next year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think after finishing the season as we did, would be a shame, even for us as well as sailors, to put so much work and then not being able to be there next season and fight for to defend our title. But as you said, there's a lot of talented sailors out there, and Tom and Pete, they are the stars of our sport. as we all know. But in another way, SailGP is quite particular because these guys sail these boats for the America's Cup in Bermuda. So even Nathan was saying like, I probably have, I don't know, 3,000 days or 5,000 days on a boat like this. And then you brand new teams that come along and they have 1 day of training. If they're lucky, if the conditions allow, it's not 1 day, it's 2 hours and a half. You know, so obviously Tom and Pete, their learning curve is already kind of going like this, you know, and the teams starting, they're coming. So I think as the season goes on and on and on, and people are allowed to train a little more, it will give new people, because there's a lot of talented sailors out there to improve and to challenge them. You know,
I mean, it's probably fair to say, I mean, back in however long ago it was with Shabby and Iker, I mean, there was plenty of corporate support with what they were doing across multiple platforms. And you can kind of see that. Hopefully that translates now into this day and age with Diego and Flo, right, into, you know, getting the team, gathering the team, getting you on the SailGP track, the Women's America's, all those sorts of things. Hopefully that rejuvenates Spain a little bit in that regard. And it gets you guys out on the track more and more.
Sure. I think that's why I said before, like we just need to wait and see what's the outcome of these last few big wins for Spain in sailing, and it's definitely something good happening because the momentum is perfect.
Huge.
And it's about timing and the right investment, I think, to do something great.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm really interested in sort of the development that you would have had, like, you know, like jumping onto the boat the first time, and, you know, what are some of the things that you saw on these boats in this last year that were surprising to you, like that you didn't expect, or were, wow, this is crazy sort of thing? Like, was there anything where you just went, holy shit?
First of all, the G-force.
Yeah, right.
It's insane. Because when I jumped on, I mean, I've sailed GC32s and some foiling boats, the Moth and everything, but I never experienced that kind of G-force on a boat, you know. It's so much that if you are standing too high or whatever, you like sometimes your brain feels like it's pretty crazy. So the first of it was obviously the speed, because you go pretty quick, and then just the forces. Obviously, on the technical side of it, for me, was a massive learning curve, you know, because I get to the team, you have a bit of an idea of the background and how things work with GCs and Moth, whatever, but you never really go into detail and have so much data, and so you don't have that much access to all the top teams, what the guys have been doing, testing for the America's Cup, you know, and out of the sudden you're like, okay, this works. Why does this work?
Yeah.
And you just, and I love that kind of shit, you know, so it's just a full year of just embracing new things. And I love that part.
Unlike you, Jordan, despite having one of the biggest heads in the world, your massive brain just fills the whole thing up, so it's got no room to rattle around. So,
well,
based on the windage, it might take your head clean off.
Yeah, that's
if you
right.
poke your head above the windscreen.
And when he drives and tacks, you can see the whole head roll. It's like an old car body roll, we call it. You know, bit of body roll.
Yeah, he'll cut this bit out.
No. Yeah. I'm used to it. Bernardo, one of the things that is interesting, and I don't think people quite will get to understand, is obviously the boys making jokes about the size of my head and the helmet and all that crap. You're wearing a helmet, but you also got an earpiece in there, and there's the amount of chat that's going on. You know, you've got all the team members talking strategy. You got your strategist. You got coaches feeding information off the water. You got the race officers talking to you. The amount of chat that would be going through your earphones while you're racing these boats, does it send you insane? Like, can you concentrate?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's like having a normal conversation, but it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But you guys are obviously all sailors, and you understand communication is a massive thing inside the boat, right? So that's something we did put a lot of effort into, to just talk about what's really important and have as little words as possible. Because if we speak in Spanish inside the boat or in Portuguese, to say attack in 10 seconds, you read a book, it's a big sentence. So that's why one of the reasons everyone speaks English on board is because it's a lot shorter and quicker to communicate. So a part of it is to try to regulate, even out the emotions and just say whatever needs to be said.
I love
I
it.
always
Imagine
wondered
the
why-
Italians.
I always wondered why the word
we-
left was izquierda. Such a big word for left. I mean, come on.
Imagine the Italians. Next thing you're going for attack. Next thing you're out for dinner. You just rolled into a full conversation.
Yeah.
Do you guys, do you get much grief from the race management or event management probably about how you speak on the radio? Like, do they ever actually tell you, oh, watch your language or, because of the broadcast? Do you get grief about that at all?
Not much, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, during the Youth America's Cup and stuff like that, and the Volvo, we got a lot of grief.
Yeah.
But I think they just beep it,
Yeah.
That's it.
Because I don't know that when I'm on at SailGP, when the racing's on, I've got all these VIP guests with headphones on and we listen in on all the boats. I don't know if you're aware of that. So I listen and I explain everything that's going on. And most of my time spent saying, yeah, sorry about the language, it's a fair bit depending on situations.
Possible. Race management can ask for whatever they want, but it's impossible in sailing to keep it.
Yeah.
Well, unless Nettie is on board, I'd imagine. I'd imagine the Kiwis and the Aussies dropping many an F-bomb.
Yeah.
But Nettie's not unpartial to dropping an F-bomb.
100%.
So, now that you're back home, you're in Cascais. I assume you live in Cascais, knowing your history. So you're in your little piece of paradise. You're with your family. SailGP's over. You trying to pull this discussion together, mate. Like, you weren't back home relaxing. You were straight off. I think you're doing M32s and J70s or something. Is that right? Basically, just going boom, boom.
Yeah, I just finished M32 Europeans, and then Copa del Rey was straight away after.
Yeah.
And now having a full month off.
Realistically speaking, just a bit of downtime.
Full month off.
Exactly. Full month off.
Hey, Bernie, do you go to Don Manolo's, best chicken shop in Cascais?
Don
In the
Manolo.
world, for that matter.
Manolo's? No.
No,
I mean,
you go to the Chicken Garden.
Sometimes we get takeaway from a place close to that one.
The Chicken Garden.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's like a mafia in that area.
For the listener, the Cascais is a beautiful, beautiful town, and when the Austrian race was on, the boatyard whole facility was in Portugal, in Lisbon, and Don Manolo's was the chicken shop of choice for the boatyard, and then the opposition was
8 times in 1 week once. Did a double on a Saturday lunch and
Double.
dinner.
But you didn't leave. You stayed for lunch and dinner. You just didn't leave.
We went out, but came back.
There was even a
It was still
song.
free.
But anyway, so the chicken discussion, there's a reason behind the chicken discussion.
That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, the Frango.
That's the chicken podcast, yeah.
But so switching back into that sort of racing, my friend, like where you've come from SailGP, winning SailGP, you're on a high, everyone would have been talking about it. Is it easy to switch into those boats, or was it, you're too much on a high?
No, I think obviously enjoying the win is very important because we work so hard for it that you need to enjoy your accomplishments. But I'm very part of us. We all sail different boats, different projects with different sailors all over the world. So I'm very used to it as well. So just it's another week. Tune in and swipe the page over and just move on. Obviously,
So,
talk about it, but it's time to focus on another.
based on that, Bernardo, we've had several guests who've sailed a whole array of different boats. You'd be up there for sure, as far as many boats sailed from ocean racing all the way down to back to the 49er. What's your favourite boat to sail?
It's a good question. I think the 49 is pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
I jumped on a 49er last summer. I was coaching and helping a young Portuguese team that was starting. And it was like 10 years after I stopped, maybe 11 years, and I haven't sailed since. And I was like trying to explain something to them, and I'm like, this is not coming out of, just let me do it. And I jumped in and did like a full downwind, came back upwind, and I called my crew straight away. Tomorrow
we're going to the Olympics.
It was like, you're crazy. I'm not going. I'm like, okay. Boat is so good. It's so good. I actually miss it, but it is what it is.
Well, there's an interesting question because you would have been sailing those boats with the older rig as well.
Exactly.
So
I started with the old rig and then changed to the new one.
Yeah, and it's just a question I'm asking you because I was sailing the old rig as well, and then had a couple of guys on the new rig. Was the difference? I mean, the difference for me was noticeable. Did you really? It was just a massive change, wasn't it? And made it a better boat.
Yeah, I mean, when I started sailing, I didn't know anything about the 49er, and I sailed maybe 2 weeks with the old rig, the old one, and then changing to the new all carbon one. But I never sailed a boat with 3D ice sails and stuff. So with the older version, and I don't have an opinion about the old rig because I was just trying to keep the boat.
Oh, I do.
I know that it was very
heavy.
It would break heavy and would break quite easy because I broke like 2 masts and we're like, okay, moving on to the next one, and that's all I know.
With go on, BP. Sorry about that.
No, I was just going to say, no, it really affected riding moment at Bearaways and heavy air.
Yeah.
Which is critical on those boats. I'm interested as a professional sailor and a former Olympian. Have you get much chance to watch the Olympics? Because there's a bit of controversy about the sailing, with the windsurfer stuff. And what did you have any moments you got to watch in the sailing that you enjoyed, or what stood out for you?
My favorite time of the year every 4 years is to watch the Olympics.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the Olympics on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I watched a bit of sailing. I follow the Portuguese. We didn't have a really big team, but I watched them and I followed some other classes because I knew other sailors from around the world that I like to cheer. So, and to be honest, I don't like the format. For example, for the kite surfers and the wind surfers, it's pretty crazy. I don't think it makes
it's a
any
big
sense.
topic. It's a big point of topic, isn't it? At the moment, there's a lot of people talking about it.
We're going to talk about that after this interview. I've got the ultimate solution. We're going to take the whole conversation about that format to its end extreme. We're going to go evolve it for the next 20 or 30 years.
Okay, so it's going to be the bar karate format.
No, it's not our format. I'm just saying this is where it's going to end up if we keep going the way we're going. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Bernie. We're with you, bud. We agree.
At the same time, it's like SailGP kind of. It's not exactly the same, but it's
close.
A full season. Top 3 guys go forward. The winner takes it all. Bang.
Yeah.
But the kite surfers, for example, it's insane to see that someone gets to the final, but there's 2 sailors there already with 2 wins. So the guy that gets to the final has a lower chance to win a medal. It's pretty crazy for me to follow and to understand. It's not really sailing. We all grew up in a different
Yeah.
Imagine your and all the results
But
count.
I guess it comes to the conversation, which would probably come up later, is that they're talking about trying to make it non-sailor friendly. That's the issue.
Yeah, it's a mistake. All right. So Boise asked you a question what your favourite boat was, and you went with the 49er. You've sailed everything pretty much. Is there a boat that you haven't sailed that you want to sail?
That's a new one.
I mean, I would like to try a cup boat.
Yep, I knew that was coming.
Obviously. Besides that, no, really. I mean, I'm keen to sail on any boat, but I've sailed a lot, as you said, and the cup boat would probably be something I would be really keen to try.
Obviously, the cup's in Spain. Are you going to go along to any of the cup? Will you have time to go and have a bit of a look or not?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it's easier and cooler to watch live in the computer than to be on site. I was lucky enough to be in San Fran and in Bermuda while the cup was going, and I watched some races right there, and it's cooler to watch on TV. You see more, you have a little bit more perspective on things, I guess.
Actually, speaking of the cup,
I was going to put out an open invitation, Bernardo.
Yeah.
If you're around, and we'll watch it on the big screen as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
You gotta be there?
Yeah, we'll be there. So
yeah, there's a couch you can sleep on, mate, if you get a run up. What are you doing September 6th? There might be a paying gig for you on September 6th.
September 6th. I think I'm finishing the M32 Worlds in Garda.
Your management role hasn't kicked in just yet.
I haven't quite got it. I tried.
You didn't hear, but she said you are in Garda.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
I get the feeling that Matilda's getting more information from you with this interview than normal.
Probably.
Okay, so
jokes.
speaking of your wife, there is she a sailor? Like, is Matilda? How did you you didn't meet through sailing?
No, not at all. Our best friend was. We had the same best friend, and we never really met. And then one day, we just went for a snack after surfing or whatever, and we met. And that's it.
So add some romance. You went to the Frango. Nice.
The Frango was close by.
Yeah. So does she get sick of the sailing talk, or she understands that it's your job?
If it's all the sailing mates at home, yeah, she gets sick of it.
Yeah.
All talking about, technical stuff and here and there, and they're like, "Can you guys stop talking about sailing?"
Yeah. I remember a friend, one of my close friends, his ex-wife, they when they were dating, I think about 5 years in, she's just going, tack jibe. That's all you guys talk about, you bloody sailors.
Exactly. With our hands out, no? You know, I was there.
Yeah.
Baccarati.
Exactly. We were founded on such a move.
Now we do with cats.
Rock and roll Baccarati.
Heavy metal Baccarati.
Yeah, for the listeners, because this is not on video, Bernie just threw up the rock and roll fingers and showing catamaran, doing Baccarati with catamarans.
The devil sign, rock and roll heavy metal sign. Yeah,
I love it.
Now you need to just put a fall out the side.
Yeah, how are you going to do that? That's getting all technical now.
Now, let's talk about something from the perspective of the youth. One thing you get, my friend, is from jumping from different boats and different teams all the time, you've got to fit into new teams all the time. And I think Bice is the sort of, he's the coach on this sort of stuff, talking about what you need to do as a pro sailor. And it's, what's your phrasing, Bice?
Just don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead.
Basically.
Yeah. So, how do you go with that whole process, getting onto a boat? Sometimes you might be with personalities you can't deal with, or, you see tactical stuff going on, is wrong, and you just got to bite your tongue. Like, how do you handle all that sort of stuff?
It's exactly what you said. I mean, I I got into the professional sailing world without actually, and I didn't understand much about it. I didn't know how it worked. It was just an opportunity that just started rolling in. And I come from a very small country. There's no pro sailing here, so I had to go abroad to do it. And I was some guys that were doing and were inside the professional sailing. They were like, okay, just as you said, just be cool with it. Don't be a dickhead and take all the opportunities. Feel like don't just stick to one position. Obviously, there's good things and bad things about it, but take any opportunity. You should be able to do anything inside a boat, and just go with it and do as best as you can. Obviously, if I'm not calling tactics on a boat and I'm sailing, I'm a super competitive person, and I see a mistake or something that doesn't make sense to me, I get fired up, and I need to control myself not to say anything. Depends on the boat. Some boats you have an opinion, some other boats you just need to shut up and go with it. But as you said, just keep being myself and try to be the best I can, to be honest.
Yep. From a tactical perspective, one thing I try and talk about when I do coaching is understanding the difference in a boat. Like if it's a fast boat versus a slow boat, what mistakes what the cost of a mistake is, where you can pass, how you're going to get it back. But do you find fast boats equally as tactical as a slow boat, for example? Like, I think you just won the Congressional Cup in slow boats, like, what do you think?
I think in slow boats you probably end up doing more maneuvers in fleet racing and stuff. So I think it becomes a little more tactical in that because it opens up more opportunities, let's say, or you can change your positioning easier and fight for little shifts and whatever. In fast sailing, maneuvers are highly expensive, so you need to minimize them, or when you do it, they have to be in the right place at the right time. So obviously there's a lot of technical part of it. There's a big tactical part of it as well, but I would say slower sailing is a little more tactical for sure. Not saying that fast sailing doesn't have any technical part of it, but I would say so. I don't know if you guys agree, but
No, 100%.
Yep. It was really
mean,
it was emphasised just watching the windsurfing at the Olympics, that whole gold medal race. Just everyone's going in the corners, particularly with the guys, the passing lanes. You depend on which side. They had to pick a side, and then when you do tack, you got to get it perfect because you got to pick your angle spot on. And once you've made, because the problem with fast boats is you get to a ley line and you're on a ley line earlier. And once you're on that ley line, there's no passing. That's it. And if you get your ley line wrong, you're going to lose distance. You can only lose once you sit out on a ley line. That's why in match racing you try and get your opposition out to the ley line as soon as possible, because then they're trapped. And so that's the risk in fast boat sailing, because you end up getting close to your ley lines a lot earlier. So that's all. That's probably the main. And as you said, the less manoeuvres. Bicey's grinning away. He's just going, shut up, Jordan.
I just wanted to be a smart ass and say comments from the super coach. You can feel free to take this bit of audio out of the podcast, Bernardo, and present it to every team that you sail with from now on.
Sorry. Apologies.
It's too easy. No, that's the beauty of our sport, basically. All the different disciplines, fast, slow, physicality, mental. That's one of the coolest things about it, no matter what class you sail. So,
all right, we're getting close to the end of our time. I do want to ask an important question for you, mate. You're a young fella, like Santiago, I think, that you've got a little boy who's just starting to walk, I reckon, around about that age.
He's full on walking already.
Full on walking? Climbing up
not far off trapezing.
Exactly.
Is he going to get a chance as being a sailor, or like what visions do you have for his future? Like, Is it going to be breakdancing? Is it going to be rock climbing? What?
Definitely gonna be,
Might be able to.
I'm gonna present him basically to all the sports that I do and try to give him a chance to choose what he loves to do.
Surfing.
I love for him to do a water sport. I love water sports. Mathilde loves water sports. We both surf, and so I mean, if he likes sailing, I'm obviously going to introduce him to sailing. If he likes it, yeah, for sure, I'm going to be the first one to kick it forward and to help him as much as I can. But if he doesn't like it, and he's happier doing something else, it's all right to me too.
As an opti dad, when your chase boat is twice the length of the opti, you know you've probably gone down the wrong path.
All sports, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good fun.
Absolutely. No, it's good.
All right, mate.
Good place to do it too, Portugal. So
Lovely. Yeah,
absolutely.
great place to grow up. You've got everything there. One of our, I think, I don't know, I think Bicey's the same, but we love Portugal's. And any time anyone asks me where my favourite place to go in the world is, I say Portugal. It's just such a great country. We love hanging out. Good people, great fun. I keep telling my wife she's desperate to go to Portugal. She loves the surf, so we'll be there again soon, I think.
awesome, Frango. Yeah.
Frango, bit of Frango. Love it.
I think I'm there next week.
There you go. BP. Yeah, he's got his
BP's
factory in Portugal.
Yeah, I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm up in Vila de Conde. Vila de Conde.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2 hours north of us, but what's the factory?
It's where we're building the Far X2s up there and the little offshore racing yacht. So it's cool. Up at Nello, which
The Nello factory.
Wow, how cool is that? By the way, I know we're off track a bit here.
Oh, stand up Portugal, mate.
170 boats out of 200 in the kayak and paddling division. Unbelievable.
And they just stepped up lately their building process, no?
Yeah.
And the
BP
Dragons
got in there. Now, if you're going to build my boat, you need to be doing it like this. This is how I used to do it.
It's a fantastic country, and I do love Portugal very much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Spot. You should come more often.
All right. We might leave it there, mate. I can see you. It's bedtime for you. I could see you, Todd. We appreciate you taking the time to chat to us. And we're very happy for you, we're absolutely very happy for you with everything that's going on. So we wish you even more success. And, just keep on being yourself, bud.
Bernardo,
Thanks,
a big
man.
thanks to your wife, Matilda, sitting next to you, for you taking a bit of couch time on a Saturday night. But, look forward to catching up soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Good on you,
Thanks,
mate.
Chi.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Bye.
Oh, there's a mate. Hello.
Love it. Love it. Oh, boys. Love that chat, obviously. I have a lot of time for that bloke. I really enjoy watching him succeed, and he does it because he's just such a nice bloke. Nice family, happy for him, really happy for that Spanish team. I cannot wait to see how they go next year. They're going to be really hard to beat, but it's finally.
Imagine the confidence, like Diego, Flo, but the whole team is going to have going into next year.
Oh, and you know what they've got? They've got a red boat, boss. Proper fast one.
She's a fast one. You think she's got a wireless?
Rodney Rood, if you don't know.
Best joke of the whole ocean. Right?
Yeah, that lost me my gig on stage. And the other thing, BP talked about Nello and the kayaks, right, and the kayak racing, the sprint canoe racing in the Olympics. No disrespect to rowing, right? You see the rowing, same sort of course, same thing. They're rating at 39 to 40 strokes a minute. Then we get to the sprint kayaking, and they're doing 150 strokes a minute. It's just so unreal to watch.
Oh, I love it.
So good.
And the funniest part about all this, and sorry to butt in, but when I see the boats, I'm in the same room as these boats that are being built, because that's where I'm doing my X2, right? And I'm seeing all these boats come out non-stop, and I'm looking at them and going, look, there they are. And 170 from 200. It's amazing.
Yep, beautiful carbon little shells. They're hard to sit in those things. Really hard to sit.
Oh, mate.
Hey, Jordan,
Your inertia.
you spoke about the red boat like that almost got you sacked from the Volvo Ocean race.
Yeah.
So was the rowing comment.
Oh.
The only sport in the world the Kiwis win sitting down going backwards.
That's a true story too.
Oh, jeez.
I was just
Some good t-shirt
explaining.
quotes there.
I was explaining HG and Roy. It wasn't my words. I did get accused of being racist for hating Kiwis, and my wife was listening in the back when I had to have the disciplinary hearing over that one, and they were talking about that. I did have and my wife could hear in the background. I said, "What are you talking about? Are you talking about when I told that story about the New Zealand sitting down going backwards better than anyone else?" And they said, "Yeah, so you're telling me I'm racist and I hate Kiwis?" And I'll go, "You do realise I'm married to one?" And you could just hear my wife laughing her head off in the background.
Definite disciplinary hearing required.
That was a bit of stupidity. I think that person ended up getting removed rather than me. So anyway, so let's move on. I think, do we leave that going to air or not?
Yeah, we'll leave that in. That's fine. Speaking of Kiwis, though, a fine Kiwi cuisine, Radix.
It's
so
cuisine.
as
Cuisine is the
mentioned,
I
I have been in New Zealand, been at the Southern Spars factory, and I've got to tell you, it just inspires me every day. I walk in there. But on a side note, set up in the lunchroom, full Radix nutrition for the boys and girls on the floor, just to help them get through a day if they forgot their lunch or they want a full nutritional meal. Just go grab one of those off the shelf, boiling water, off you go. Some say productivity has gone up since Radix has gone on the shelf.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
there you go.
Whether it's your mission to crush your fitness goals, conquer a new challenge, or simply fuel your everyday life, it's nutrition for everybody. There you go.
Beautiful.
Nice work.
Nice little tag there. Radix
Did you
nutrition.
Did you practice that?
No.
We were practicing all yesterday, that little piece.
Vicey, let's have a go.
Go to Radix Nutrition, jump on their website, use the Barkarati code, so Barkarati one word, and get a discount on us. Yes, we didn't practice that at all.
It's just.
But it was so good. That was like
the natural
that was
flow.
super.
The natural
that
flow.
was super high professional stuff. That's why we are the best Southern on the planet because of gear like that.
Second best.
All right.
Second.
Events coming up, boys. It's getting close. Straight after the Olympics, we roll into the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series, the 37th America's Cup. 29th of August, the first of the round robin series, starting with France versus Switzerland. I'm just going off the flags at this stage. I know the teams have got different names, but 29th, 30th, 31st, and then just continuing on there right into early September. And then, it's going to be a pretty good one. So we've got a couple of weeks
we're just in the middle of the best 3 months of sailing of a long time that I can remember.
Yeah, can't wait. So get excited, get ready. If you want to tell us who you think's going to win the cup, because that would be interesting as a leader.
The cups, shall we say?
The cups? Yeah, who's going to make it through? Yeah.
Given we've got obviously the big cup, the big uns, and then the women's and the youth as well. So
we've got the 3 cups.
Love it. August 19 to September 15. So they're going to miss a lot of the cup whilst doing this. Poor bastards. Those gentlemen and ladies that are sailing in the Solitaire de Figaro, 3 legs tied together over that time frame. So Rouen to Gijon, Rian, and Rian to La Turbale. Anyway, basically they're flipping around. I know. Shut up.
Basically,
come on, mate. Just say it in Australian, will you?
Yeah. My wife
the
gets
table.
Le Turbal, Royan,
and Grijon. And Grijon.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, so basically around the English Channel and into Bay of Biscay a bit and floating around. But yeah, single-handed in the Figaro, all single-handed, one design boats racing. It's pretty intense. We're into it, and it's coming up. So I think we're all into it, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on that. Because generally,
keep a finger on the
you
pulse.
look at the podium or the top 10 for that matter, you're going to see some future stars.
Future stars.
Be born.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
You do.
Exactly right. Speaking of single-handed one design sailing, we also get the RS7 World Champs going to be on in Hailing Island 25 to 30 August. So that'll be interesting. The non-laser sailors, but the little RS7s, nice little boats. They're
Good
on.
boat. Yep. And we kind of, whilst it is call it the off-season in Europe, July, August, we're going to be just ram-packed full pretty much from this time onwards. So
It's so cool.
plenty to talk about.
It's so cool. I just don't know how we're gonna handle it.
Fit it all in. We
Fit it all
can't. We
in.
never do.
It's so
We
cool.
never do. Cause
We do.
We
We
always.
All right, let's move on. Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week. This is the week we're giving the...
It matters.
Yep.
It's the week that matters.
Vycobi providing a $200 Aussie voucher to the best communication we've received all month. Okay? I'm not saying letter anymore.
Don't
I
we
like
get?
it.
Don't we get?
No more letters.
Yeah.
No more drop by pigeon.
No.
Just comms. Best comms.
Right. There's a couple of good ones. I'm only going to do two this week because there's two really, really good ones. Right. First one is from a listener by the name of Mike Khalil. Now, Mike is a passionate fan of the old bar karate, and he sent us a few emails where he promotes a regatta. But here's his email, and tell me, rate this email once I finish. First off, I'd like to let you know how much I love my new bar karate hoodie. It is so comfy, and I almost can't wait for the weather to get cool again so I can wear it more. Everyone listening should buy one now.
Oh, God on you, Mike. You're a
Good on, Mike.
You're a good man. Yeah, well done, Mike.
Mission coming your way.
It genuinely is. My wife's obviously got one. She asked for a second one because she loves it so much. So it is genuinely.
Got a washing machine?
No, it's just so comfy, mate. So comfy. Have you got yours? No, you haven't got yours yet.
I'm in northern
Yeah, you don't need
Bloody
one.
hot here.
Yeah. I'm also writing in the hopes of getting another shameless plug for the world's highest regatta. That's in altitude, not any other methodologies.
Not like
Medicinal
in Letterkenny,
purposes.
Canada.
Yes. It's quickly approaching on Lake Dillon in Dillon, Colorado. Beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, it sounds
Absolutely
doesn't it?
beautiful. The Dillon Open will be held at 9,017 feet above sea level. Now, whatever that is in feet, what's that, 3,000 metres?
3,000.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
August 23rd, 24th and 25th. As always, the event is hosted by the Dillon Yacht Club in conjunction with Dillon Open on the Santana 20s. In conjunction with the Dillon Open, the Santana 20s will be having their nationals with an additional day of racing on Monday the 26th. This will make for a larger and even more exciting event than last year. And there was the big bar karate banner put up there.
Yes.
I also want to announce that I'll once again be abusing my Vice Commodore privileges.
Love it.
Yes.
Got to abuse it.
Stephanie, I don't think we've met Stephanie, and I will be getting married during the Dillon Open this year. Listeners,
Romance.
listeners may remember her from an email I sent last year.
I hope they've both got their hoodies on. I hope they're wearing their hoodies at the wedding.
Oh, that's a good one. Episode 2017 from with a picture of the majority. Oh, yes, the picture of a majority of our club giving her the middle finger. I do remember that one. Yes, believe it or not, she agreed to marry me. We plan to sneak away on our J80 before racing starts and have a quick ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And now, keep it clean.
Yeah, I was just wondering what that quick thing was going to be, but no, it's a ceremony. And after racing, we'll take full advantage of the bar, catered dinner and band. I think it's a brilliant plan. Oh, and did I mention that we have a photographer available to us? Gustav Schmieg of Regatta Shots gave me the idea early this winter, and we were discussing catering for the event. He mentioned that he and his wife had gotten married years ago at his club in Texas annual black tie regatta. So I'm borrowing one out of his playbook. I will share some pictures after the event of the ceremony, not the quickie. And by the way, Barkarati is invited to the event. As always, thanks for all you do for sailing. How's that?
Mike, Stephanie, I've got an offer.
Oh, here we go.
Given it's kind of on the bucket list to make our way to this particular yacht club, might I suggest your wedding party could be made up of one Jordan Spencer, Brett Perry, Nick Bice, all wearing our Barkarati hoodies. Just as you walk in, actually, BP, you could play the guitar. That could be the marriage song.
Been the wedding singer. I've been the wedding singer before at one David Higgins's wedding.
Oh, there you go.
The wedding singer.
There you go.
Ripped out a couple of numbers.
Nah, wonderful. Nice email, Mike.
Yeah, beautiful.
Congratulations with Stephanie coming up. Look forward to the photos.
Right.
Of the ceremony and the club, not the quickie.
The other communication of interest, yes, was from one Grant Rollison. Now, you and I discussed this last week, Bice, because BP wasn't there to discuss it. We couldn't work out what he was trying to say. He was talking about in the windsurfing how the competitors that are through, in the semi-final can actually participate in the quarterfinal, and the finalists can come into
over the top,
but they start with 30 seconds behind, and I couldn't work out what he is thinking. But we had conversation during the week. This we need to continue to follow this. So his theory is the stupidity of the whole scenario is that, okay, in the quarterfinal, you've got those 7 boards racing, and the 2 that have qualified into the semi-final, so that's second and third, start 30 seconds behind. But what he's saying is that they can they can try and catch up and take out their main threat, right?
Ooh.
It's the Hunger Games of sailing.
Hunger Games on water.
Yeah. So what they can do is catch them up, cover them, luff them up, use the rules, obviously. Probably can't use a bow and arrow, but
nor a jousting stick.
But yeah, so what he's saying is let's just put them in the race, and then you get to take out your main opposition.
Oh, and they could just be sailing see your main opposition coming from behind to take you out, and just sailed. Next thing you know, they've sailed themselves to Barcelona.
So they stay. Yeah, they stay. They don't lose their spot in their semi-final or the final, but they get to take out the opposition. It's just,
good comps.
It's the Hunger Games, and so basically, what that highlights to me is that when you start seeing stuff like that 20 years time, we actually genuinely will have silly things like that occurring. Like if the way we're taking our sport away from being about the best sailor to making it more TV friendly. I mean, why not? Why not? Like, surely, 8 years time, we'll see these boards going out. Somebody will have a little drone that they'll fly off their board, and they'll start attacking people with a drone, or somebody will be
someone with a laser gun.
We're seeing drone torpedoes now, little micro torpedoes floating around. They'll be zooming out,
maybe we could get some sharks with frickin' lasers.
Oh, mate,
just doesn't end.
That's the future. Why would you not do this? If we're going to do make it more friendly for TV, let's make it really friendly for TV.
Yeah.
The evolution of our sport it'll be insane. So let's do it. We could just pick one class to just keep making it more and more extreme.
Yeah. Well, and it's probably not the only one. Well, it's definitely not the only bit of comms we received this week on the windsurfing class from our good mate Scott Patton. Sent some stuff through.
Yeah.
So,
I
think that conversation is going to continue.
Yeah. Well, there's a petition, that's what Scott sent through. There's a petition going to go up to World Sailing, I think. But it's interesting. I guess there's 2 things to take from that. One is that how passionate sailors are about their sport, right?
Mhm.
And they want to see fairness.
and being run by complete buffoons.
Well, no, that's harsh, but the
No, it's not.
Yeah, probably don't say that.
yeah, don't say that. Because
Well, I want to.
yeah, no, fair enough. But the people want to see a fair result. That's what I'm taking from it. That's basically the gist of it. People care about our sport. They want to see the best sailor win. That's what sailing's about. So, and that's
100%.
what's motivating this. You know, the use of words like buffoon, probably unfair a little bit. BP, you can tell me if I'm wrong. More than happy, but
Is this almost related a bit? I mean, I was a bit on the fence about this last week. I've got my own feelings, but related to Adrian Finglis's comments that we're still doing stuff as we did in the 70s and 80s, and why we don't like the change is that we've always rewarded consistency in yachting.
yep.
Have those days changed? Just to throw it out there. I don't have I have my own opinions, but
Anyway,
anyway,
it's not going to die.
it'll continue. It'll continue
as
this
you
discussion.
said, Mr. Bice.
I still think that the coverage has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed watching the sailing. I've been up in my time. It starts at 5 a.m. here in Canada, and it's usually postponed, but because of the weather over there, it was light. But it's been a fantastic 2 weeks of sailing. I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it.
Cool. Yeah, it's good. I mean, we love it being there. So good luck. Well done to all the Olympians.
But before we award the listener of the week, Jordan,
Hang on.
or listener of the month, actually, for that matter, a quick one that came in overnight was from the cheeky bugger, Drew Scott, sent a photo in of the winners of the 505 Worlds, who we'll talk about in a minute, sporting their Vycobi kit.
The Vycobi kit, yes.
Of course.
I just had this email, and I was going, Jay, you haven't mentioned it once.
Oh.
No, we'll talk about the 5-0s shortly. Well,
Yeah, okay,
Jordan
all
will.
right.
But yeah, so we love all the stuff coming in.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
without further ado,
the Vycobi listener of the month. I think
We need a drum roll.
drum roll. Yeah, I did have one on my little buttons, but I've forgotten where I put it now. So I could randomly push buttons and see what comes up.
Yeah. Don't act like you're not impressed.
Yeah.
Pierce excellence.
Oh, now you got me
Go on.
thinking.
Just push any button.
Well,
Push a button, see what happens.
Push a button, it'll make us
Well,
laugh.
Jack, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
He's a ginger. He's a ginger.
Uh-oh.
oh dear. Yeah. Anyway,
Clear winner in my book.
Clear winner. Drum roll.
I found the countdown button. Yeah, clear winner. I'm nominating Mike Khalil. That email that we just got this week, I think that encompasses
Concur.
everything, and we're not just giving it to him because he gave a
Gave
fantastic plug to our hoodies. Go to barkarate.com if you want to buy a hoodie.
Merchandise. Hey.
If you are in the large and extra large size, better rush in. We bought a lot of those, but most of them are going. So BP's going, oh shit, do I? But anyway, great buying, good times. Cool. So Mike Khalil, that's my nomination and vote.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in.
Cool.
Mike,
Do I got to deliver that as
maybe
well?
you could buy Stephanie something special for your jaunt away.
Oh, there you go.
But for your the ceremony.
On
Hey,
the J70
Patrick
or
from
J80.
Vycobi, do you do something nice?
Oh dear. All right.
Over.
It's hot time with Bice.
Actually, I think we should call this Hot Time with Jordan this week.
No.
And what you need actually is on your little buttons there, a little dinger, because I'm going to run through the
Little
subjects
dinger?
first. And Olympics, you're all over the Olympics. We've got plenty to talk about that there. Airlie Beach, just in your backyard almost, Jordan Spencer. Copa del Rey, yeah, that's a bit of all of us. The 505 Worlds, of course. And then finally something that you should have been part of, the breakdancing in the Olympics, especially with Oh, ray gun. So
I've gotta go.
back
I've gotta
to
watch
the
it again.
Olympics first.
Got back on.
Sailing Olympics. I'll put this to you, man. Is men's kiting the new normal size men's sport?
Yeah.
And it'd be fair to say, due to the win of the Austrian sailor, were they the most successful sailing team in the Olympics this year, regardless of size of economy, population, all that sort of thing? But the biggest surprise, the best performing. Pretty bloody good.
Yeah. They did amazing, didn't they? I was really happy to see that. If we look through that, the results of that. Sorry, my computer was doing silly things. I did want to say about the kiting. White is not a slimming colour. I don't know if you guys saw the photos.
You have noticed our we're not selling white hoodies.
Yeah.
Or lycras, for that matter.
So the winners were Valentin Bontas from Austria, as you said, a sizable human being wearing white, not a slimming colour. Then the Slovakian Tony Vodicek, again another sizable human being, and then Maximilian Mader, Singapore, I think.
Correct. First Singaporean sailing medal.
There you go. They do well. Anyway.
All over it.
Look, big sized human beings. That was the one thing I wanted to say. The other one is a little bit of tactical stuff going on in the women's kite. Did you guys pick up on that one at all?
Negatore.
Okay.
Negatore.
So Ellen Aldridge from Great Britain won that in front of Lauriane Nolot and then Anna-Loes Lemertz. So Great Britain, France, Netherlands, and then, of course, the great Daniela Moroz, who is a massive fan of this podcast.
Episode what?
I can't remember.
128 from memory.
Yep,
Oh,
nice.
my God. It's one of the first times I've heard that.
She's...
well, no, everyone that I don't know, I just say 128. So
No, just the Jordan can't remember. Are you okay?
Look, I'll survive. But I just, whilst we're highlighting that, I just want to point out that what happened was that the British girl used a 15-metre kite. Everyone else was using a 20-metre kite. And it was an interesting tactical decision going in there. And I just thought I'd sort of point it out. That was all. I just wanted to point that out, and obviously she was flying uphill and they were catching her back downhill. But
tactical decision.
Yeah.
Well, tactical, more a strategy decision. We'll call that one.
Get to the top mark first and see how you go.
So looking at the Olympics, boys, Netherlands topped the table, 2 gold, 2 bronze.
Awesome.
Obviously, a very performed well in many Olympics leading up to this one, so and deservedly so, top the table. And then going on to Austria, second on the tally.
Yeah,
2 golds.
Go.
Fantastic.
So that
landlocked. How good?
Yeah, well, the 2 golds there with, as you said just before, Bice, Lara Vadlau and Lucas Mayer winning the mixed dinghy, the 470,
and the kite.
And
so
the kite.
Good.
Very impressive performance. The interesting thing there is that Morgan Reeser was coaching the 470 team. He's had quite a good record. He's not quite Victor, but he's bloody close. He's done pretty well doing the coaching in the 470. So I think he coaches some pretty soluble TP52 teams as well. So Morgan, he's probably the super coach. You shouldn't be throwing that at me, throwing it at him. He's genuine
no chance.
super coach.
He's nowhere near you.
Well, going equal with Austria was Italy, who have performed, been at the top on many a podium in many classes leading up to this event. So you expect them in the top, on the top.
Well, they had the most certain gold medal of the whole Olympics, if you ask me. That Tito and Banty, the NACRA 17 team. Like, did anyone think anyone else?
They are blistering, aren't they?
Yeah. No one else had a chance.
I was watching them a bit the other day, and they're a cut above.
Yeah. And, without boring the listeners, they're next in the table is the Aussies with a gold and silver, Israel, gold, silver, and Great Britain. You could argue, I know it didn't happen,
No,
it should have been 2 golds, but it was gold and bronze. So, it's there you go. There's top 6.
Well done, boys. Nice breakdown.
And it's good. It was good. You're right. It
was good.
DP.
Good.
We haven't done a full breakdown.
No, that was
probably
a nice
won't
breakdown.
do a full breakdown, but it was good watching.
Well,
as compared to a breakdance.
I do want to highlight in the Ilkers, obviously for us seeing Matty have a win.
Of course.
During the week, yes.
Fantastic. Great bloke, great talent, super talent. First time anyone's gone back-to-back in that class in the goal. But then Marie just dominating the fleet, and now the most successful female Olympic sailor of all time. Just superb performances. So really, really good to watch. I thought, it was great to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Marie Rindom coming in second there. That was good.
Yeah, well, we could do a whole episode on just how much the reverse curse played on those results.
Well,
have you done the stats, Jordan?
I'm seriously sitting here. Matty Wern has had one as well.
Yeah.
So
there's quite a few through that field. Absolutely. We'll have to come back to that, but no.
Yeah. But big shout out to Matty, like you say, back to back, and the 4th laser gold for Australia.
In a row.
Yes.
So well done to Rafa as well.
In terms of countries, it's back to back to back to back. Yeah.
And Rafa was coaching,
factor.
but Michael Blackburn sits over the top of all that as well. And so Mike's been involved for all 4 of those. So
reverse curse. You're
curse.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Australia laser sailing.
Yes.
Ilka sailing.
Well done, Bakarati.
How much reverse cursing can a podcast do?
Let's go back down south, boys. We're going to Airlie Beach.
Oh,
not necessarily your backyard, Jordan, but just up the road a little.
Yeah.
Been windy. I mean, we're not at the end of the regatta yet. We're just at the start of it at time of recording, but massive shout out. Looks awesome yachting.
We've seen everything, haven't we?
Huh?
Oh, we've seen so much, like capsizes, broken mast,
broken sticks, exactly. I mean, you've got a bunch of different sizes. Shout out actually to the Ocean Crusaders in Div 1.
Yeah.
Who are there giving a solid crack against the Hollywoods and the Zens and the secret weapons and all those sorts of things.
Massive.
But we'll do a roundup of Airlie next week once we get all the results in and see the winners and losers and breakages and all those sorts of things.
I found the class I'm going to do the regatta in, boys.
Sports boat.
No, the wetter. Like,
oh yeah,
you got a little tiny trimaran, single hander. You can put your esky down there. Like why
Mate,
not?
The last few days, you're not reaching for a ice cold Bacardi lager, sailor's lager. I tell you, she's been numb off.
No,
Yeah.
Great regatta. Obviously, it's probably one of my favourites. Access to all sorts of fun things on the shore as well. Got a friend request from Hamo Island this morning, so obviously Hamo's starting next week, so that'll be big as well. And it's a good time to be an Aussie at the moment going sailing.
100%, especially up in those warmer climes, one would say. Now, this is completely in your wheelhouse, Jordan Spencer, the 505 World.
Oh, yes.
So,
I can talk at length about that.
Okay, so I'm going to discuss the girls. Jordan, just sit back, relax.
Yeah, okay.
Take it in. So the Aussies take the win. Before we talk about the winners and grinners, though, top 10, 4 from GBR, 3 from the US, and then we've got Aussies, German, and French round out the top 10. So, well, not round out, but fill the top 10. So quite an array. And you'd almost say like the US, the Poms, they deserve to have those number of boats in there. So very nicely well done. Nice split, nice spread, one would say. Now, your observations, Jordan Spencer.
Interesting regatta. Like they didn't get the last 2 days of the regatta. So it started out light winds.
It's never like this.
Yeah, never like this. That's it.
Standard World Championships.
That's it. And then they got a third day with a nice sort of, mid-teens breeze. And then they had a lay day, and then it was blown out.
No more
yachting. Thanks for coming.
Was it last year the short worlds as well? The one in Weymouth, or not Weymouth, in where was it? In Cork or Crosshaven or something? Or was that the year before?
Oh, Cork, yes, yeah.
When they sailed for 2 days or
no wind.
days.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes. 5 class kills the wind. It seems. That's right. Good memory. And I was there and I forgot.
Yeah, because you were at the Royal Cork Yacht Club just swinging on your Guinness.
I was.
Absolutely. Working on your photograph.
Leading in after the pre-odds, I did say watch out for Jan Philipp Hoffman and Felix Brockerhoff. They came second. Definitely the coming team. It is the first ever win for Peter Nicholas and Luke Payne in the Worlds. They have been right up there in many forms. So been doing the class for a long time, and both are pro sailors. So Pete and Luke both pro sailors. Luke's on the Danish SailGP team, and so both great guys. But Pete basically lives in Sweden. Where the regatta was. So it's almost a home event for him these days. He married a Swedish lady and he's very happy up there. So it was, and Payne spends a lot of time up there as well. So that's part of that sort of Aussie mafia that's floating around in Sweden. So congratulations to them. The next regatta, boys, the next Worlds, Adelaide. They're coming to Adelaide.
Rads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Henley and Adelaide Sailing Club.
Yes, Adelaide and Henley joint hosts the 5-0. So I will be there at this stage.
Excellente.
Yeah.
There's plenty. Let's put it this way: there's plenty of 5-0s
for West End draft.
There's plenty.
That's a retro one.
Cut my teeth on a West End draft, as a matter of fact. Plenty of 5-0 rigging up on.
You'll be with your photo again, Jay. It's up on the wall there.
Yeah. That's true.
Plenty of 5-0 rigging up on the lawn at Adelaide Sailing Club these days. Just getting prepared, getting the eye in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For the overseas sailors coming to Adelaide, look, it is a really good part of the coastline. Gets really solid breeze, a little more stable breeze than Brighton Seacliff, where traditionally the 5-0s tend to go to. Brighton Seacliff gets a little bit of more of a land effect down there, but in terms of bending the wind. But Adelaide, it's just straight on, pure sea breezes and sharks.
Yep.
And briskets.
Don't tip her in.
Don't tip her in.
Yeah, if you're coming. Well, I might do an on-site brisket. That's a good idea.
I reckon. Well, what we could do is we could actually share your address. They could still rock up at your house.
Oh, boss.
Yeah.
Look. I suspect Barkarati will have some sort of level of involvement at the 5-0 Worlds.
Conscious of timing,
okay.
Due to knowing where we're sitting on the timing of this particular recording.
It's long, isn't it?
So I'm going to cut a few here, but Wasp Games worth a mention.
Wasp Games are on. Cadet Worlds, 14s,
Cadet Worlds,
29ers.
Yeah.
Yep.
We almost
running breakdancing.
If there was only a site you could go to that gave you all the results of all the different classes.
Yes.
If only.
If only.
All right. Now, it would be amiss of me not to mention probably one of the greatest sports in Olympic history.
Achievements.
And I believe if this is not a podcast coming up for Titus O'Reilly on his world's most bizarre sports, it's got to be the breakdancing. And I cannot believe Jordan Spencer, as the well-known commentator you are, that you didn't get a call up to call this. And it's got to be the breakdancing, of course.
Actually, hey, Jay, could you edit a commentary?
Oh, we need to do that, don't we?
Of our Aussie competitor. I would love to hear that.
So I've done a full circle here, man. When I first saw the performance of the ray gun, well, I actually saw her being interviewed on like one of those morning shows, and it was almost though the host, I think Carl Stefanovic, was taking the piss out of the ray gun, right?
The ray gun.
Now, I think she's just kicked Australia up the arse. She's gone to Paris and taken the piss out of Australia. in her performance.
I think she's.
So I'm going to
I think she's
say
gone
she could go down as one of the greatest Australian Olympians for what she's just done.
right up there with the Bradbury.
No. The exact opposite of the spectrum for the Bradbury.
I reckon she's gone over there to take the piss out of the sport.
She has single-handedly destroyed that sport. There is zero chance of that sport ever being at the Olympics on the back of that. Listeners, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have, but because it's on every feed, everything you open up.
7 out of 10 of my Facebook stories, the ray gun.
So,
do you think she's actually sitting around at home with her mates and she's going, "Oh, I'm going to give this a crack. I'm going to go give it a
No,
whirl."
100%. I'm breaking out the kangaroo. If the world has not seen the kangaroo before, the world's a better place.
So all the competitors in the breakdancing, remember in the lead up.
Seriously.
In the lead up to this event, I remember we were interviewing someone and I said, what sport do you reckon shouldn't be at the Olympics and why is it breakdancing? I remember that was one of my questions, right?
Yeah, I remember that, yep.
And the breakdancing was all these young, hip kids, the hip-hop scene. And then the Australians sent a 36-year-old woman
the ray gun.
The ray gun.
Called her the ray gun.
Who looked like she had just wandered onto the stage at the RSL and just had it. She's, your drunk auntie, basically. She looked like the drunk auntie.
Drunk auntie ray gun.
At your 16th birthday, right? But the thing is, she wasn't taking she's done she's got a PhD. She's a doctor
100%.
and a university lecturer. And
which is why I think she's a cut above. I think she's taken the piss out of it, the whole thing.
Her PhD was in breakdancing and hip-hop culture.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Guys, I don't think you're giving the ray gun the respect she deserves.
Mate.
She's gone out there. She's worn her tracksuit with pride.
Oh, she has.
I can't believe she's not going to be a flag bearer. She might take that off Wernie.
Oh,
did you see where she came in starting with the hands windmilling? It looked like she'd walked into
the fly squatter.
She was in a cobweb. She'd walked into a giant cobweb, is what it looked like.
Yeah.
She's trying to get it off.
Kangaroo. I mean, the kangaroo is the move for me.
And then she was doing the lying on her side. Like,
we're off. This could go for 20 minutes, listeners. Hang in there.
You can turn off if you want, listeners. We got to keep talking.
It's like sort of.
Imagine it turned into just like an animal off. She comes out with the kangaroo and the Americans come out with the bald eagle.
Oh, what was going on?
Oh my God, what is going on?
What is going on? It's embarrassing because genuinely it sucks and is embarrassing because they're kids. Like, how did she get selected? The kids.
This is my point. What was the selection?
She wasn't the Australian champion. She's the Oceania champion, which means New Zealand, which means all the Pacific nations, which means New Guinea. She's the Oceania champion. Mate, South Auckland will be rioting. Western Sydney will be rioting. 90% of the Maori population could do a better job than that in New Zealand. Most of the West Sydney population, when they're not stoned off their nut, will be able to get out there and just do it. I don't understand how she got the selection. I just don't get it.
No.
What my sister and I, when we were growing up,
I'm with the ray gun. And if we don't see the ray gun doing the kangaroo on the back of a $1 coin soon, I'm going to be highly disappointed.
So my sister and I, when we were growing up, we used to do the Unco Dancing World Championships.
The Unco Dancing World Championships.
I reckon she's straight out of that.
Look, I know we try not to be disrespectful, and we try to see the positive in everything. I certainly do. I can't see any positive in this. I think.
Well, you can speak for yourself on that behalf. I think the ray guns stood Australian proud. I'm going to get her on, so we can explain ourselves.
She's probably done more for tourism.
Australia's attitude towards this bullshit.
She'll do a heap for tourism. People will be coming down just going, what is this? What's happening in that country?
Hey, Jordan, when you write our little blurb for this week, you can pretty safely say we've gone off on a tangent for the last 10 minutes.
It's critical work. We're doing important work here. We're trying to save the Olympic movement. Oh man. But
because we love Olympic sailing so much, we don't want to see it destroyed by the ray gun.
Oh my God. What would she be on a boat? What would she be doing? We've got the air routing. What's the ray gun? Oh, imagine she should have incorporated that into the air routing.
It's got to become
I reckon you should become her coach, mate.
Remember when planking was a thing?
Yeah.
When what?
The ray gun doing the kangaroo is going to be a thing. Just everyone around the world. Someone's going to be up on the corner of the Eiffel Tower doing the kangaroo.
Oh my God, I'm going to watch it again just for a laugh.
Mate, the closing ceremony won't surprise me that all the athletes don't do the kangaroo.
Oh, around a full lap.
Oh.
Could you imagine it?
Do you reckon?
Do you think we're predicting it?
I'll be interested to see what she comes out.
Oh, look. I need to take my hoodie off. I've bloody laughed too much.
So I'm just sweating. Yeah.
You've blown a puffer, have you?
Blown it. My golf swing's going to be all over the joint this summer.
Oh, yeah. What a great
I've leant
time.
back in the couch. I've leant back in the couch and I ain't moving.
And look, and Ray Gunn, if you're listening, Ray Gunn, apologies if we've upset you, but you upset us. So
you are listening, Ray Gunn.
No apologies from me.
Get on the radix.
Get on the radix. All right, boys. I think we're done. We got to call it. We got to call it. But good work. Thanks to Bernie for the chat. Have a great week. Remember to send your messages to us at cheers@barkarate.com.
Well done, Mike Khalil, for winning the Vykobi jacket.
Yep, great work.
And maybe another one for the blurb about it. If you just want banter at the end, go to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And then also remember, if you do want to grab a hoodie, and there's a few shirts left around, just go to barkarate.com and you'll be able to jump on and buy it, and they get shipped pretty much straight away. And and Radix Nutrition, jump onto their website, order it, use Barkarate as the discount code and get a discount on us. Happy days.
Happy days.
Well done.
We got the t-shirt. We'll talk about that next week.
Oh, the t-shirt competition. Oh, yeah.
Go the ray gun. Go the ray gun.